If anyone wants to read it, it's called the Oceanic Negros. Okay. I like to study and try to come to the truth as much as possible. So straight away, you know that Europeans already know. They do not call Melanesians or see Melanesians as the same as Polynesians, I guess. So maybe that's. So you may say the first name that Europeans gave in 1820 to 1869 was not Melanesian. It was Oceanic Negroes. Okay. Now let's see what these Europeans were saying about what they look like. Okay. Okay. Firstly, you can see straight away, right over here, a Negrito of the Indian Islands, an African Negro, frizzled. The islands of New Guinea and the inhabitants of the islands being that of a Negrito race. Okay, frizzled, crisp hair. These are just little highlights that I'm showing you how in the mid-19th century they would actually point out if you had black skin or dark skin. Okay, and it's not just one, it's many. This is written by many Europeans, and we're going back as far as 1560. So 1560 was probably the most earliest time that Europeans had first contact with Melanesians. And again, even then, Papua was defined as black skin and frizzly haired Papuans. Here's a picture of them. And here we go again. You know, I keep trying to tell people that if Europeans back in 1700, 1600 called you black or Negro, it was more of an inferior way of looking at a race. So they would think you're cannibal, savage, you know, all the negative stereotypes that you think about them. And here, does it say Samoan here? No, it doesn't. It says Fiji, Fruit Island, Melanesia to New Guinea. So Fiji, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're part of Melanesia. You're part of the Negro of Oceania. And if you want to know who wrote this, the first, just look up his name, John Caulfield, and look at that, two separate races. I wonder who those two separate races are. And here's another highlight that I found. You know, I was just going through the whole book, and you'll find out, like what I keep trying to tell people, that this whole theory about the Malay or Negro race all comes down from Darwinism or evolution of everyone evolving from apes. And you'll just see that this whole idea, see right over here, any attempt to align races more closely with what? Apes. That's the whole idea of why people are called black. And here again, his racial view. And again, you're seeing what he says. He defined the two Aboriginal races visually through the intersection of hair and skin color. The first was what? Brown race. So there you go. If they saw you as part of the brown race, they'll put you in the brown race. that saw you as part of the black or Negro race, they'll put you there. They would even talk about your hair. And we all know that a lot of Polynesians do not have straight hair. And again, a drawing of what a Negrito looks like, and a drawing of a Southeast Asian. Do they look the same? Heck no. Do they look like they evolved from the same race? Heck no. Again, another drawing. Kind of looks like an Aborigine, to be honest. And here's another guy. Go look him up. George Windsor Earl. Okay, and again, the racism, a single glance is sufficient. I wonder what he's trying to talk about over here. And again, brown races, black races. If you were part of the black race, then you were seen more like a savage. And here's another one who wrote about Oceania, the people of Oceania. Alfred Russel Wallace. Had I been blind. And he lived around 1854 to 1862. And look what he said. Had I been blind, I could have been certain that these islands were not Malays. The loud, rapid, eager tones, the eccentric motions, the intense, vital activity manifested in speech and action are the very antipodes of the quiet, unimpulsive, animated Malay. These 40 black, naked, mop-headed savages. See, there you go. It shows that if you black people actually think that Asians and black people were seen in the same light by Europeans, no, they weren't. Totally different. And you can see the racial undertones that Europeans had of black people, okay? And yeah, even Wallace, because black people always make this idea that, we have Samoans have similar features as Melanesians. Bro, even the Europeans there said that between the Malay tribes, among whom I had some years been living, in the Papuan races, whose country I have now entered, we may fairly say that there is as much difference, both moral and physical, as between the Red Indians of South America and the Negros of Guinea on opposite sides of the Atlantic. So, there you go. And this guy, he's probably the most racist of them all. The whatever his name is. He's a French guy, but he said, if you keep reading what these people say, it's the same thing over and over again. They talk about their hair, they talk about their skin color. Over and over again. And here you say, see, they just talk about it. Common to them. But a black skin, a certain crispness to the woolliness of the hair, thick lips, and flat features. Each separate Negro race was considered aboriginal to the island, and which is now found in no common origin to the possible be detected. So, coming near to the end of my video, I'm just trying to point out to people that this whole idea that you black people are making these videos about Asiatic blacks, or somehow we have similar features. No, and we never had similar features. And you'll see that even back then in 1844, when the whole idea of black, brown, and white was created, that if you were called black, simply in their eyes, in those days, you were considered inferior. And if someone was seen black, then we would have been in the black, okay, in the black category. that's how they would have talked about something.